Hi DJ and producer, and welcome back. Today we're gonna talk about something very interesting that people ask kind of frequently, and today we're gonna talk about sound design. Now, what we're gonna do today is very challenging for me, and it's gonna be pretty much interesting for all of you. I'm gonna try to make a loop, very, I would say, kind of complex loop, 6, 7 channel maybe, but just using analog and operator from my laptop. Now, the reason why I want to do that, and then we can get started straight away, it's because I saw, especially from beginners, many questions about synthesizer or VST or anyway plugins, asking about which one sounds better and which one is the best to use. And deeply, my answer it would be, it doesn't matter what you use, or it doesn't matter um, which instrument you're gonna use it. But what it really matters is your knowledge. Because if you are great with sound design, and if you're great to use even just the tools that you have already inside the laptop, you can build your own music in a very unique way. So, said that, I'm gonna start with my example. One more thing. I said I'm gonna use analog operator, so you can check subtractive synthesis and FM synthesis. I'm not gonna get into the explanation about what the synthesis are and which kind of plugin I'm gonna use it. That's one I can make another video, or you can text me and ask about that, and we can have a conversation about that. What I'm gonna do is more related to the project, so I'm gonna explain the choices and why I'm moving the stuff inside the plugin. So what you're gonna learn are basically basic synthesis about instruments. Not yeah about the instrument, yeah, because with the synthesizer what we're gonna replicate is the sound of an instrument. So yeah, this is what we're gonna learn. So starting point, operator, I'm gonna make my kick. Okay, I'm gonna put in a MIDI channel. So what is making the sound of the kick drum? Is a sine wave, so I don't have to choose any other waveform. And with the pitch, I want to modulate the frequencies of my sine wave going to the high spectrum of the frequency. I'm using the opposite hand, but basically it should be, let's stay with the technical word, so it's gonna be easier and not confusing with the video. So basically I'm trying to go from the high part of the spectrum, which is more or less 20, 15 kilohertz, and go down till 35, 40 hertz. Okay, this is what I want. So I'm telling now to the plugin to do exactly what I just explained. Just one more thing, operator, it works with FM synthesis. And now I'm basically moving, is the envelope of the, is the pitch envelope, and it's basically I'm programming the envelope to do exactly what I just said. Okay, I want the attack in the high part of the spectrum. Then with this one I'm gonna like kind of draw the belly, okay, the fatness of my kick, but just still on the medium range now. Okay, so this is the decay. Yeah, decay, yeah, is keep moving the attack, but it's more like the decay point. Like you're gonna hear it more on the decay point. The real attack of my kick that is gonna generate even the click is this one. Now with this one, it's called like the D slope on the plugin, but decay slope should be. And actually, we starting to draw the bass, so it's not anymore like the decay slope, but it's more or less already this. It doesn't have too much sustain, but it's like the mid bass range of the kick. Okay, this is how it's gonna affect my kick, and this one is just affecting the bass, and this is gonna affect the sub bass. I'm gonna draw like I'm gonna straight away go on E because I know this one is the note that I like it. Okay, here we go. And now I have my kick. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna draw in the way that I like it. So for my example today, I'm gonna stick with kind of melodic techno and deep house, kind of like that. So this is the kick, I'm gonna look for it. So I'm gonna cut the bass. The belly I want a little bit softer, not too much sub bass. Okay, I don't know if you can hear it, but if I open this one, the sub bass, the sub part of the bass, it come up. This is the click, so can you hear like the attack? More or less like this is fine. Okay, now the final thing I need to draw is the volume, okay, control of my kick. As I said before, a kick drum, it doesn't have too much sustain, so the first thing I'm gonna cut is the sustain, and with the decay I'm just gonna decide how long I want my kick. Can you hear like this? I'm just having the click in the beginning on the high frequency, and if I open I have my kick. More or less this is the point I want. Here we go. So let's try to go faster as possible. I don't want to make a long and boring video. I want to show more things as possible. So this I'm gonna call kick. Second one, bass line. I'm gonna use analog, and here I'm gonna even start to show sound modulation. Okay, now it's gonna be quite I would call it challenging, a very good bass line with analog, but this is the beautiful part, and this is the very important part of sound design, because I have just a synthesizer with two oscillators, and that is not gonna sound too fat. But if I understand what to do, I can make a very nice bass line, and I will need some help from some friends from the audio effect here. But let's see what we can do. Okay, I'm literally improvising, so I have no idea what I'm gonna create, but let's see. Okay, so when I open my analog, I have straight away two oscillator with the sawtooth. Okay, probably I'm gonna stick with that waveform as well this time. I'm gonna go. Okay, in this moment, I feel I like this note, this octave. I'm already on a E. Too much electric sound. No, okay. Let's try to change waveform. Okay, this is the sound, the more or less I already like, so I'm gonna stick that. What I did now, I was choosing the waveform straight away because the waveform is already telling me how rich is gonna be my sound. The sawtooth, for example, is the richest waveform that you're gonna have it in this plugin. Okay, the next step is gonna be the digital or square wave. Okay, because by definition a sawtooth has odd and even harmonics. The digital or the square wave, it does have only the odd harmonics, so more or less it's half harmonic, and it's gonna sound like a kind of guitar, very nasal kind of sound. Okay, this is what it's gonna do when you have less harmonic. Then you have triangle. You don't have it here, but usually you can find even triangle wave in other synthesizer, which is kind of in the middle between as in terms of richness of harmonics, in the middle between sine wave and square wave. So it's gonna have a tiny bit of harmonics. It's gonna be just a little bit richer than a sine wave. So sine wave is the purest waveform you have inside the plugin. Okay, this is why I was trying to set my waveform, and on this note, in this moment, I'm feeling that two sawtooth are working perfectly. Now, yeah, I want two sawtooths just on this octave. Now, to more or less, if you hear it, is already a bass. What I wanna just from the amplifier choosing the shape of the volume of my sound. Okay. So even if I hold one note and I cut in completely the sustain in this way, okay, I have just a tiny bit of decay. Even if I hold my note, the sound is gonna cut. You see, I'm holding the note and have no sound. If I keep the sustain completely open, if I hold the note, the sound is gonna carry on. In this case, what I'm feeling, gonna use this bass line has kind of melody. This is what I feel. Okay, so I'm gonna keep the decay just tiny bit open, and I feel that is too strong. But part of sound design is the modulation of parameters. Now, one modulation, it can be the frequency. Okay, I'm gonna draw the envelope of the filter similar to the envelope of the amplifier. So I'm touching a lot envelope in this moment, and I'm not gonna get into it too deep, but you should understand what an envelope is and how it works. This is a key point. That's why I'm making this sound in this way. Now, in analog, the envelope, the amount of the envelope that you wanna give to the filter is exactly here, okay? I'm just gonna give it 6, 7, and let's see how it sounds. Exactly, this is what I want. Perfect, look, it's already inspiring me. And if I press Command M, this blue light now on my laptop is telling me that if I just click on one parameter and I move one parameter of any MIDI controller outside Ableton, now it's connected from outside. Let's have a listen with the cutoff, opening and closing, what I can create now. Okay, let's record something. I found kind of nice melody. Let's see what is gonna happen. Okay, very random thing, so I don't really know what I'm gonna take from this, but let's try to find a nice clip. I'm pretty sure I can sort it out something in here. So, more or less it was... Okay, here it was quite nice, this one. I just pressed the one wrong note here. Okay, this could be a good starting point. So with this one I'm gonna tell it, so delete this one and double it this one. Let's make something very easy with this. I'm gonna place it here, this one copy twice, And now I'm gonna just check my automation and make it with the hand now. Okay, now that I know where, just delete completely and redo it again. Here we go. Here we are. Okay, I wanna hear the filter opening in different point, opening and close. This is gonna give like kind of human touch to my sound. Okay, it's not bad. I mean, it's nothing that I will use obviously to release a track, but to make one example, I think is pretty good and useful, and is a kind of good baseline. Now, obviously, if you think that now my patch is done, it's wrong. You should always try to make it sound real and give like kind of extra sense to it. So you're gonna put some effects, okay? No compression and no EQ. I'm not gonna talk about compression and EQ at all today because you don't really need it. Most important than EQ and compression inside your track, your sound. Let's have a look. Now, for example, first thing, I'm gonna use a chorus, okay? This is something, it already changed my sound completely. Now I want to just one LFO from Max for Life, and you see I'm just using literally Ableton plugins, okay? I'm gonna why the rate is not working anymore. There we go. Gave too much depth. Here we go. Here we go. Now we have it. Perfect. Now my bass is kind of set and working really good. I wanna just have this. Perfect. Let's go faster as I can. Now, I'm gonna use a little bit of something already pre-made, I would say, which is basically I'm gonna use just for the drum, but we can. This is bassline. Drum. I wanna use. I don't wanna make just with the operator. It could be like very similar, like it's not a very complex synthesis about the drum, but my suggest is if you have it, use it. Like Ableton, it does have like a very nice kit core. I could take the kick from there, it would be easier, but kick is something that you should really understand the synthesis. For me, I'm not saying that you should not understand even the synthesis of the others, but using a hat snare that it might be even recorded from a real one is a good strategy. That's why I want to stick with that. So let's put straight away a snare, because I pretty like the snare in here. If you saw or if you watched my previous video, you see that I use kind of frequently the same package because it's a part of my sound, is a part of what I like it. So even this one is a kind of suggest that I would give, okay? Let's have a listen. Okay, now I just wanna the open hat. It sounds nice, but it's too baseline is not. There is something wrong with it. So at the moment, let's stay with this. That it was working. Now what I want my bass line going even a bit like on the going even a bit left and right. So you might think it's wrong, but because I know that many people in the beginning say, oh, absolutely no reverb and delays on a bass line, but there are tricks that you can use to use reverb and delay on a bass line. So I'm gonna put it anyway, against the suggest of many people. Now I'm gonna wanna the panning differently, okay? And my bass line is sounded really fat. I hope you can hear it like I do. And you can see just watching on the fader that I have a slowly left and right, so it's not gonna be just on top of my drum. That's the reason why I did that. Now what we can do, we can add a couple of synths to make it more interesting. The first one, it would be like a pad in this case, you know. I'm just gonna take another analog, load into, and I'm gonna stick with my sawtooth, okay? Just, I know I have to close the filter. Amplifier, I'm gonna leave completely sustained with a little bit of release, and just the attack smooth. And let's have a listen. This time, before I used a melody, so it was singular notes. Now I'm gonna use a chord, so it's gonna be 2 or more notes pressed together. Let's have a listen, just single time. Beautiful already. Let's have a listen all together. And before do that, I want to map again another parameter to my MIDI controller. So okay, let's write just this one like this in the beginning. And oh, sorry. And let's take this length, like I wanna kind of twist now of my harmonic parts. I mean, not twists, but changes, you know. So first parts 2 bars length. Now I should reach till 4. And what I want basically is kind of a harmonic component. So I'm gonna use the 4th and the 5th. Okay, that's why sound theory is very important. You can make a chord progression very fast if you know it. So 1, 2, 3. No, I'm completely wrong. It's gonna be 1. This is the 5th, the B. Okay, and if I'm not wrong, yeah, D, A, it should be the 4th. So let's have a listen. Let's record straight away the modulation of my filter again. Amazing. And now what I can do to make more interesting my pads is something, and this is still about sound design. It's still, I'm not gonna talk about mixing or any other topic today, but as a good I would say sound designer, what I want to do it now, I don't want everything at the same level. I don't want everything sounds the same and confusional in my track. Okay, so I'm gonna push it back, okay, and I'm gonna keep down the volume like this. Now reverb is gonna help me to do this. The reverb is very important for distances, okay, to understand the depth of the track. So FX, if you know how to use FX, you already talking about sound design. I don't know. Sorry guys, sometimes it's just a bit hard to talk and find the tools in the same time. Reverb. The only thing you need to know about this plugin in the beginning is the dry watts, how much you're affecting the sound with your effects, the decay time, how long you want the reverb, and the pre-delay is basically telling you how long it's gonna take in milliseconds before you're gonna hear the first reflection of your echo. If you don't understand this part, you should check what is a reverb. Perfect. Now, what I feel it, we should put kind of maracas, okay? So, because it's gonna give like very kind of deep sense to my track. Now, last thing before say bye, and then my example is done, and then gonna keep this example and send the project to anyone he wants. I wanna just make one lead. So very important, and I hope you can take this one even as a suggest or example. I rename it every channel with a purpose. Organize your project is very important, and if you make some design and modulation as I do, you don't want to have a mistake when you go back to check them or move that. Again, analog. I have literally no idea which kind of lead we can use in here, so I'm gonna play it randomly for a couple of seconds. Okay, it's not really a lead what I did. It's a kind of lead, but shorter, you know, like, I mean, this is what I felt it. I wanted to make a longer lead, but as I touched my instrument, something else came out from my inside. So even follow yourself, in the meantime you're building something, I think is the right way to express yourself. If you're listening to something and something is coming outside from your inside, keep it. It's gonna be great. This usually what happened to me. So I'm gonna keep this sound. As you saw, I just closed the decay of my sound and I changed it octave. Now I'm very high as an octave, and I'm gonna keep even one octave higher. And let's start to record it. Yeah. Okay, this is what I recorded, and I fancy it, so I'm gonna keep it like this. I'm not gonna even quantize the notes. For the next, now my sound design today was like very easy from synthesizer, but it was more focused on FX and how to use them. And even for this synth, I just literally closed the envelope and changed it octave. Now what I want to do is to make it sound beautiful and better, I want to add absolutely a delay. Now the first thing I heard, and this was accidentally, I used in other track this technique, but it was pretty beautiful even here. What I heard straight away is that the modulation of the changing time, it was, to me it was amazing. Okay, I pretty fancy it, so I think I'm gonna record that, and to make it like maybe even better, I'm gonna have a modulation of my dry wave. So when I modulate the timing changing of my delay, I'm not gonna affect too much my sound, or I'm gonna affect a lot just in one part of the sound, and it's not gonna take over it. It's just gonna be kind of smooth detail to my sound. Okay, so let's open again one LFO. I'm gonna map it to the dry wet, not too much depth, offset in the beginning, okay, like this. Now, to do this, okay, I'm just gonna show automation, and they're gonna do it random 2, 3, even 4, come back to 1, to 1, maybe here, again, 3, but I want my 2 point has a main point, okay, so this is how I'm gonna do it. Again here, show automation, random, and nothing else. Now, I really like the effects, but I think I'm hearing too much, so what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna set my offset a little bit down, so it's gonna start literally from 0, and the depth even less, so the volume of my effect is lower, and the sample rate of my LFO longer. Okay, so like this. So exactly like this, I have kind of glided sound. Glide, it means when I go up from one tone to the other one, and I listen in between of the tone, all the steps that there are. So kind of glided sound, okay, in my leads, can we call it like that? It's a kind of short lead, yeah? Can stay with that. So yeah, what else I can do? Absolutely a reverb. Where is it? Reverb, let's write it to be faster, reverb. Reverb, and like last thing I can make it, you can be, let's add another effect. I mean, I would go again for a chorus, but to go a little bit on a different, with something different, a flanger is gonna give me kind of metallic feeling. So more or less this is what I want, yeah. I'm just gonna draw a little bit down the volume. Let's have a quick listen all together. And I would say that it's enough for today. It was kind of quite long episode, and just to make a recap of everything. So what we understood is sound design is the understanding of which waveform you have to use. What is an envelope? What is a filter, and how the envelope works with it? Subtractive synthesis, which is analog. FEM synthesis, which is operator. FX, really important to understand all the FX, what are they and how they works. And modulation, how modulation is gonna help me to affect my sound. As if you do electronic music, modulation is gonna be your best friend. Okay, I would say I don't want to talk anymore for today. I don't want to be absolutely boring. I hope you find this tutorial useful and helpful for your tracks, write me please a comment in the section below, and would be really happy to hear what you think about this. If you have any question about this topic or any other topic, you can text me. I'm gonna be very happy to help you, and I'm gonna answer as soon as I can. And if you want, I'm gonna keep this project, and I'm gonna put on a Dropbox with a link, and I'm gonna try to put in the first comment as I'm gonna post this video, or even on the top of the video. So if someone share it, you're gonna still have it. And I will say that's it. I hope you enjoyed, and see you for the next one.